Hey guys, Mark Allen here for BHSpringSolutions. Do you remember when Craftsman tools meant made in USA, guaranteed forever, take it back to the Sears store, and no questions asked replacement if it ever fails to work as advertised, etc.? Well, those days are over. I was in a Lowe's store the other day and I saw all kind of Craftsman tools, and all of them, well, 90% of them said made in China, and the rest said made in USA from internationally sourced parts or something. So when Craftsman was made in the USA, there was a tool company behind the name called Wilde Tool, one of the manufacturers. And what you're looking at in this part of this gun optimization tools kit is you're looking at Craftsman tools, but they're now Wilde tools. They're the same tools that you always loved as Craftsman tools. We are more than proud to offer these at BHSpringSolutions. I want to show you this entire gun optimization tools kit that we've put together for you. It comes in this vinyl roll-up case, or you can hang it in your gun workshop area from these holes, or it rolls up just that kind of easy and ties up just that kind of easy, and you take it with you. And we wanted to show you what's contained in here. First of all, there's a couple not Wilde produced tools. These are BHSpringSolutions produced tools. We produce these actually in Bulgaria, where my partner lives. This is a 1/16 starter punch. Here's the reason why we made this tool. The high power pistol specifically has some 1/16 pins that are absolutely notorious for breaking that punch, and it's a 1/16 regular pin punch. So we made this 1/16 starter tool pretty fat here, and then finally narrowing down to a 1/16. This is intended to only start your 1/16 pins, the stubborn ones, and I'm talking about your safety lever pin, your pins in your trigger specifically. These are notorious for breaking your 1/16 punches. Preserve your 1/16 punches and get those tough pins started and below the surface of where you're pressing them out with the 1/16 starter punch. The high power pistol has a trigger pin that holds the trigger subassembly in that is notorious for well, most guys just don't have the right tools. We have a two-step removal system for the high powers trigger pin. It starts with step one. This is a 3/32 nail punch intended to just get that trigger pin. And to show you what pin I'm talking about, I want you to take a close look at that frame. That is my carry high power since about 1990. So good night, 29 years now. When I first started working on high powers, and I started working on my own many years ago, I did not have the right tools, and here is the damage that resulted. One of these days I'm going to have all of this buffed out and a refinish done to this handgun probably, but today I don't damage them anymore. The right tools. This 3/32 nail punch just holds that pin. You pound it just far enough to get it to move at all, and then you take our stage 2 trigger pin removal tool. It has a cupped out head on the end of it, and a rubber grommet even has been pounded onto this punch tool in order to move that pin below the surface, and from there I will then finish it with the 3/32 standard punch. That's a couple of the things that are included in this tool set. We go next to each one of these pockets has our regular pin punch in the size and the roll pin punch, and these are for your roll pins in your pistols. 1/16 standard pin punch and roll pin punch. 5/64. This is exactly the right punch for your extractor pin. And some other pins in your high power pistols, the 5/64 regular pin punch and roll pin punch. Then we have 3/32 This is your sear lever pin and other pins in the high power pistol, 3/32 regular pin punch and roll pin punch. And finally, 1/8 inch pin punch and 1/8 inch roll pin punch. These are going to be important if you work on 1911s or you work on CZ-75s. I even like getting my 3/32 pins started with that 1/8 roll pin punch. It's really nice for getting those 3/32 pins at least initially started. It helps preserve them and not spread them. Also in our tools kit, we have a 5-inch angle nose pliers. These are handy for holding pins and a variety of different uses. Specifically, these are fantastic for adjusting the feed lips on the high power magazines. And then last, we have a 6-in-1 screwdriver. You're going to recognize this one. Everyone had this in the kitchen drawer. It's a 6-in-1. It's the same one you had in the kitchen drawer. Has 2 Phillips heads on one end and a socket. And then on the other end it has 2 straight slot heads and another socket, so 6-in-1 tools. And I want to show you the reason, other than this is just a rock solid tool. This is the one that was in the kitchen drawer, and you had one of those hard to remove screws, the ones that were about half rounded off, and you needed a really good screwdriver bit to bring that thing in or uninstall a screw that had a rounded off head of one sort or another. This was the tool that never failed you. And we want to show you something here that's beautiful. Your grip screws on the high power, specifically your FN Browning grip screws, that small straight slot screwdriver is an absolutely perfect, snug, excellent fit for your grip screws. But of course you're going to use this for thousands of other things around the house. But we wanted to go ahead and include this because there's 1,000,001 different uses, and this is just a rock solid tool. Everybody had it in the kitchen drawer at one time in the United States. Still made in the USA, exactly the same tool that you remember, and we're just proud to offer it at BHSpringSolutions. This is the new gun optimization tools kit from Wilde Tools and BHSpringSolutions. Thank you very much for watching.